A very good morning to you. How are you doing? And welcome to yet another exciting episode of Life and Style. It's Monday. That means we're all things inspiration, from books and blogs, beyond the sport, and of course motivating. That's why I'm here. We're at the current hospital, and we're not here to see anyone who's sick. No. We're here because we are intrigued. We are interested to find out more about the founder and the CEO of this amazing hospital. Now, this is one of the biggest, the most amazing private hospitals in this country right now, and to put it up and make a mark over the years, it must have taken a lot. So we're here to talk to Dr. Betty Gikonyo, and we're super excited. She's an author, she's a philanthropist, she's been awarded by the president, all these presidential awards, and we're going to find out, where did her life begin? How did she become the person that she is? Now follow me, let's go find out.
Come in. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for creating time. I know you're a very busy woman.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm very happy to welcome you to my office.
And it looks you have a beautiful view.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, it's very relaxing. Yeah, that forest is called the current hospital forest.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. It's all trees we have planted. Well, a little bit of it is off across the road, but a lot of the trees are the ones we have actually planted.
Oh my God, that it looks really, you have a beautiful view, and I love your office.
Thank you.
There's a simplicity to it that is amazing, and then there's a sanctuary over
yes,
here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well,
maybe you can start the conversation from here.
Yeah, well, good.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I could start
this
with
is you.
Yeah, that is, I was young at one point.
You have better spectacles now.
This was a fashion.
Oh, it was?
Yes,
I
but the bigger
Esther Wahome has those ones,
the
really
bigger,
big
the better.
ones.
Yes, yeah, with my son, youngest son, and now there with my baby, when I just my firstborn baby.
Where was this?
This you'll be surprised. Guess where we were living? This is in Dagoretti corner.
No.
That's where I started.
Dagoretti, have you been there lately?
Well, that's where I pass every day.
Oh my
so
God, no, there's nothing like this now.
Yes, that's nothing like that, but that's where was our first home. That's my little baby boy, who is now a doctor. We thank God, so things have moved, I've traveled.
Yes, KLM, there's a very interesting story about these little houses.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about it? Because it's a collection, you have to pick until a certain number.
Yeah, it's a collection, and I'm a great supporter of Kenya Airways, and in their partnership with the KLM, you get, these little, I choose a different house every time, and I read about it. So, and this is only a small bit of the collection. I have a bigger collection.
You have a bigger collection?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Well, yes, as you can see, that's myself, with my dear husband, Dr. Dan Gikonyo.
Right.
Yes, yeah, and here I was launching my book as professor, during the launch.
Yeah.
And I have grandchildren, so that's why my grandson is now the little boy there. Now he's in university, he's in London, but he's a great sportsman.
Okay.
So here they were, they were the team, that was playing.
Those playing.
Yes.
How many grandchildren?
I have 8.
8?
Yes, yeah.
You are a blessed woman.
I thank God. Yes,
you are a blessed woman.
Yes.
First of all, I'm confused. Yeah. Corridors, they say CEO.
Yeah.
And what name do you call her around here? Because I want to be a bit,
They just call me BM.
They call you BM?
Yes, yeah, just simply calls me BM. Yes, I'm Betty Muthoni.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Maybe you can have a seat and we can talk a bit before we take a tour. And that is beautiful as well. That's your family as well. Maybe we can take a look at the whole family together.
Yes, yeah, the family,
Here.
Yeah, that's now the 3 children, Juliet, Eric, and Anthony. And then the first grandson, Karemi. Yes, yeah, and then the 2 of us. So that is, some Oh wow, it's 16 years ago.
You age gracefully, VM.
Yeah, we thank God. You know, I think the harder you work,
Yes.
the better.
May I?
Yes, yeah, please.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, welcome. Yes.
So we are interested. I did not even introduce myself. So I'm Wikali.
Yes, Wikali. Welcome.
And this particular segment is called Motivate.
All right.
So when I walked into the reception, the first thing I saw was the girl who did, and there's a huge poster right after, next to the shop.
Yes.
There's a huge poster there of the girl who dared to dream. And the reason we're here today is because we're interested in that girl.
Okay.
What were those dreams, and how was the journey for her to get to the place that she is today?
Thank you. The story of the girl who dared to dream now it's a long story because I wouldn't say what my age is because you can guess, but it's a story, the girl who started in the village.
Yeah.
A girl who was born in a polygamous family. My father had 3 wives. Wow. And a girl who went to a primary school in Nyeri, a place called Kiamavara Primary School. Kiamavara, meaning the place of roads. And,
Kiamavara.
Kiamavara.
Oh,
that's
okay,
right,
okay.
Kiamavara. Exactly, Wikali.
Okay.
Yes, many roads can, converge there, and this girl, went to school barefoot. This girl, you see, as she started her journey, it was the last born, with her mother's family, and she was born when her mother was advanced in age, with my brother being 20 years my senior, and therefore being almost like my father. Yeah. So this is a girl. The story traces this girl who dared to dream from the village setting, from the family setting. Walking to the river, with a jar, to draw water, going to the forest to collect firewood, going to the, to look after the cows, and once in a while being told to get them out of the shed, out into the grazing. The girl who, as I say, grew up in a very ordinary, village setting, and during the colonial times, when people were put in a, I would say. They were not concentration camps, but we were all put together in what people call villages or shags.
Yeah.
We don't understand what that means.
Oh, wait a minute. It was intentional for these homes to be where they were.
Yes.
Where they are today.
Yes. The people were moved from. We were moved from. From farms. And brought together in a common area. Okay. In small huts.
They're able to control you when you're there.
They can control you, and in fact, they put a barbed, more than they put a trench around the whole village and put these, sharp,
so that if you try
try, and there were guards. There were guards, there were gates, where. So this is so I have a very good memory, of living in that communal. Village, where our mothers went out to dig, under guard. They were not allowed to go, and dig and then they would also go on community work, to make sure that they go, hunting for the mau-maus. So really there's and of course I also remember nice stories around the fireplace, as we listen.
Which we don't have nowadays.
Yeah. And I remember, Githeri cooking, and waiting for it to get ready, and before, falling asleep. The stories were to keep you awake, so that, by the time the Githeri is ready.
Nowadays we give our children stories so that they can sleep.
No, it was opposite, so they stay awake. So that by the time the food is ready, you can eat it. Otherwise, you actually go to sleep hungry.
Wow!
So it's a different story. So this is a girl who, had a great experience, there in the village, going to primary school and going the first day of primary school and being asked, "What do you want to be?"
And what
That's where
did
the
you
dream
say?
started.
What
I
did
want
you
to
say?
be a doctor.
You say that?
And the teacher looked at me, and the other children laughed and said, "Good Lord, where would these girls become nurses? Girls become everything else, not doctors."
Yeah.
But I was very clear. Why? Because I had a brother. My brother was already studying medicine in Makerere. And he was the love of my mother. My mother only talked to me.
I'm even getting goosebumps. I can imagine back then.
Yes. And he's saying, my mother is saying, my son is in Makerere studying to be a doctor. And when he came home, he was welcomed like a king. And I said, that is what I want to be.
And they laughed at you.
They laughed at me.
Do you meet your classmates nowadays?
I meet
Have
some
they
of them.
seen the titles on your door?
I meet some of them, and unfortunately, some of them have stayed in the village, and life didn't turn out as well.
Yeah.
Others, became teachers and other different disciplines, but they still remember. The little girl was almost malnourished, to be honest. I was a very tiny little girl.
It's very interesting that you mentioned this dream start at a very, very young age.
Yes.
To think that, was it because of your brother, or did you follow it through? And, living in the village, at least you knew someone who was in Makerere.
Exactly.
But then here you are, you're very young,
Yeah.
high school, your grades. Did you know what it took for you to become a doctor?
Oh, you see, that's the beauty about the girl with the art dream.
Yes.
That from that initial, I never wavered from my initial. I wanted to be a doctor, and I think the moment I pronounced it is like now I had to prove it. And by God's grace, I was good in the science subjects, whether it's mathematics, whether it is. So even as I finished high school, primary school, I was admitted to the Alliance Girls High School.
Good.
So then I went to a good school. Now, when you go to a good school, those days there are not many girls' schools that had science subjects. Yes, they weren't. Not every school that taught
So the girls' schools
physics and maths. No.
You'd go study arts and home
go
science.
you up to Form 4, but for A levels, to get physics and chemistry, girls now would come from other schools, from Kahuria, from even all the way from Western Kenya. They would come to Alliance Girls High School. So I was lucky that I started Form 1 at Alliance, and then I still carried my dream, and I was still sharing it with the missionaries there. And they said, Betty, you can do it. And they nurtured, me and nurtured my dream, and I chose the appropriate subjects, so that at no time did I ever, move from my original plan. My plan was, and I was going to be a doctor. I got support. I got support from my family. I got support from the school, and therefore I ended up at the University of Nairobi studying medicine.
It's one thing to have a brother who's studying medicine. I'm thinking back then they were investing in boys, not girls.
Wow.
So
That's again the difference. My father may have been, was polygamous, but my father had gone to school up to class 6.
Okay.
But more importantly, he was working with the Kenya Railways. I would say more important is that he never differentiated between boys and girls.
Perfect.
He kept on telling us, for me, all of you are the same. So going to school was not there was no choosing, as to who needed to go to school. And because he was working and he had a salary, however little it was, he was able to pay for our school fees and uniforms. And encourage us. Something funny I put in my book. Even learning how to ride a bicycle. That huge bicycle with going under somewhere in between the.
You can't sit on top, so you have to. Yes.
I even learned. My father said, it doesn't matter, Muthoni, how small you are. You must ride that bicycle and go to the shop. And
the blacky ones, the really huge ones.
Yes, exactly. So there was for me, when I tell my story, there was no discrimination between the boy child and the girl child. In my family, my father believed in boys and girls, and gave us the same opportunity. So, and it was not the same for everybody in the village. He was actually very unusual,
I'm imagining the neighbors are looking at him thinking.
Yeah, and he had many children because he had 3 wives. So you can imagine, we all had to work very hard, and he made sure that we really did a lot of manual work. Digging, and picking coffee so that we can subsidize his salary so that we can all go to school. So it was not an easy life, but that again, for me, it's a foundation that I really treasure. The fact that from the onset I was made to work hard and to know that by the sweat of your brow you shall eat.
Absolutely, absolutely. We can't be here and not see the beautiful current hospital garden.
Yes, thank you.
So I'd like us to take a walk down there as we talk about probably the journey. thinking about it, dreaming about it
Yes.
is one thing. Studying towards it is
Yes,
another thing. But getting into it,
Yes.
you know, and even reinventing yourself as you go, because you're not just any other doctor.
Yeah.
You are one of the leading
Yes,
doctors in the country, and
Yes,
not
yeah.
a cardiologist is not
yeah.
just
Yes, yeah.
any other doctor. And you do amazing
yeah.
things with the Heart to Heart Foundation.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk all about that.
Yes.
Let's take a walk.
So, yeah, thank you. Yes. Good. So we are on our way to the garden.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Right after.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I've noticed that the corridors of this hospital you have really beautiful wall hangings. Yeah.
No, there's a great interest in art.
Okay. But this is so beautiful.
whenever he traveled, well, you know, so these pictures will be from different countries in Africa.
Yeah.
So instead of buying other artifacts, what he buys are
Wall hangings.
you know, artistic work. You know, yeah, and then when we need to frame it, we frame it. When
Okay.
it is to be hung, like you see,
This
these
one.
are from some. I think quite a number of them from Malawi. You know?
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know,
Okay.
but you'll see some from Rwanda.
Rwanda as
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes,
So we use the
Africa.
ramp?
Yes, yeah.
It's actually even more comfortable.
Finish high school, get to University of Nairobi, studied medicine, general doctor. Then I was posted to Nakuru Provincial Hospital,
Okay.
where to do internship and also medical officer. And I really loved, you know, just dealing with the wananchi,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, I'm being in a rural environment.
Yeah.
But then I realized that within the hospital, there's one area that kept on, you know, attracting my attention like
Yeah.
a magnet, and that's where the children were.
That means
And
you have to go back to school to study something else
Well,
or
I'm
to specialize.
Absolutely. Now you're a general doctor. Now you have to be specialized. So now back to school, 3 years at the University of Nairobi, masters in pediatrics. You know, and still my, you know, so for me the initial goal of being a doctor had been fulfilled.
Yes.
But then there's something else. You know, as you go along, then you see a mountain there and you want to climb it.
Yes.
And this is the one to be a pediatrician.
A
So
pediatrician.
3 years at the University of Nairobi, I come, you know, and I came out with a master's in pediatrics. And I was very happy, you know, again taking care of children, you know, and now no more adults, just children,
Just children.
little ones from newborn.
But
you know,
that
up to
did not
12 years.
stop there.
It didn't
There's
stop there.
something else as well.
As I took care of the children, I realized that again, there's still, you know, there's something was beckoning, you know, there's some drums that were beating, you know, calling towards the heart.
Yes.
And that's where now I decided to go to the University of Minnesota
Yeah.
to study pediatric cardiology, 2 years of fellowship and 1 year of practice.
Okay.
But for me, it was to come back home and practice that which I had now studied and where I now seen the medicine excellence at the very best.
Yeah.
And therefore the dream of the current hospital.
Dream.
Yes.
After you studied, after studying for being a pediatric cardiologist,
Yes.
that's when the dream of the current hospital came to be.
Yes, it's while in Minnesota.
We can sit here?
Yes, yeah, we can actually sit here. So Mikali, you can sit there. I'll sit on this corner.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah,
We'll
that is,
fit,
you know,
right?
Yes,
Very
we feel
comfortable.
very,
It's very interesting that you've
Yeah.
I can see a lot of palms here.
Yes, yeah. We are not at the coast, but we are in a palm garden.
Oh, this is the current hospital, forest, garden, you call it, but it's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay. So that's when the dream came.
Yes, at the University of Minnesota, I was studying pediatric cardiology. I had seen now world-class medicine,
Yeah.
world-class practices, world-class facilities. And I said, why can't we do this at home?
Yeah.
And that was shared with Dr. Dan Gikonyo and Dr. Magaria. And we said, when we get back, the current hospital. It may not have been called the current hospital then, but
Yes.
the birth of a hospital. So came back here and Mwikali, that's what you're seeing today, the
Yeah.
current hospital, facilities by indigenous couple, you know, to serve, you know, not just indigenous people, but every Kenyan
Yeah.
and people in the region. We have world-class facilities.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things
Yes,
about
yeah.
the
So
facilities
whether
here.
you're going out from ICU, you are able to take care of the patients from from heart surgery. Right now, just 2 days ago, we operated on a 93-year-old gentleman and an 86-year-old lady. After 80, now most people say no surgery.
Let's just give up
No,
on
no,
them.
not at current hospital.
Okay.
And they are now, recuperating in very well. You saw the facilities in the imaging department.
Yeah.
So imaging, we have 3 Tesla MRI, CT scans. When you go to the cath lab upstairs, where we are able to put pacemakers, we're able to open up coronary arteries that are blocked. We are able, to perform very serious, procedures,
Yeah.
of the heart. And I can say with us, and I'm very proud of this as a Kenyan, that at Karen Hospital, we have a fully fledged heart program where you can start from diagnosis all the way in the field, into the clinic. You come here, you go to the cath lab, you go open heart surgery, you are operated by an in-house team of full cardiologists. We have 8 of them.
Wow.
We have two anesthetists, a heart surgeon resident, and we have a perfusionist, Mr. Kyoko. And I can over the last 10 months we have operated on 140 patients. And what we are saying is, Kenyans, let us have faith in our facilities.
Yeah.
Let us retain the excellence here, so that we can train our future generations.
Absolutely.
And let us retain also the foreign currency here. And let us also, as doctors, as medical providers, also look at the way of reducing the cost of healthcare, so that people stay within here. And it's very important. So at Karen Hospital, we are proud that we also have a nursing school. We have 90 students in-house, and these will be the future, healthcare workers, to go and give quality, that world class that we are talking about.
Absolutely.
We are training doctors, who come from university to be interns, and they get certified. We even started a surgical program, so that we can train surgeons.
Well, that's very
so we are
interesting.
looking at the holistic,
Yes.
looking at not just today, but what about tomorrow
and the future,
and the
and
future.
not just
Yes.
not just here, not just
Yes,
Nairobi,
not just Nairobi.
not just Nairobi. And
Yeah.
you
Shall
are,
I just mention that we
yeah.
are also outside Nairobi? We have 10
Yes.
satellites.
Yes, you do.
We are
Yes,
in
you do.
Meru, we are in
Yeah.
Nakuru, we are
Yeah.
in Thika, we are in Nyeri, we are right here in Rongai,
Yeah.
we are in Kitengela, and we are in Gong and in town clinic. So
Yeah.
we are also taking the medicine closer to the people,
Yeah.
so that we are in Meru or Nakuru, our doctors not only are there full time, but the specialists also come to you. So we are really looking at being, as Karen Hospital, continue to partner with both the private and the public sector, and especially NHIF,
Okay.
as it opens up, greater access to healthcare, for our Kenyans. We are here for
And,
the
and,
Kenyans.
the card is very
Yes,
easy
yeah.
to get, so
Yes.
you can just try and
Yes,
go
yeah.
get your NHIF card.
Yes, yeah.
And NHIF is actually accepted here.
And not only is accepted, but you are operated
Oh,
on
no,
it,
and
whether it
people hear
treat-
Karen Hospital and be like, Kai.
And remember,
Huko kuna kaa expensive.
even cancer is
Yeah.
being taken care of, and we are treating
Yeah.
cancer cases,
Yeah.
dialysis, kidney problems.
Yeah.
We are looking at people with the brain problems. They are also. No, Karen Hospital is a fully fledged hospital of all organs, and let me just reassure you, because the pudding is in the eating. Until you have come here and seen what our prices are, don't listen to what people are saying out there. Why would the hospital be busy?
Yeah,
And of all different kind of people.
I've been here for a while
Yes.
for the interview, and I've seen
Yes,
all of
yeah.
that. But the Heart to Heart Foundation.
Perfect. Yes, yeah, that's my baby. Charity,
The Heart to Heart Foundation, because you give back to the community
Back
in a
where?
huge way.
Thank you,
in a
Mwikali.
huge way, which
Yes,
is
yeah.
amazing.
Yes, yeah.
We need to learn as a society that
Yes.
when you're blessed,
Yeah.
you need to give,
Yes,
because that's
yeah.
the only way it's
Yes.
pressed down and
Yeah.
comes back over and
Absolutely,
over
yeah.
to you.
Yeah, we need to bless others. So the Heart to Heart Foundation started in 1993, takes care of children and adults with heart problems from families that cannot afford. We have been, this is 25 years later, we
Yeah.
are still going strong. And I want to just tie all this, that if you have passion for something, you work hard as if there's no tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Be dedicated and do not listen to naysayers. Just go on, as if you are deaf, so that whatever it is in your heart, you can bring it to fruition.
Absolutely.
And for all the listeners, whether young and old, let us as Kenyans build Kenya through hard work. Let us be, committed to what we do, and let us continue to dream big dreams that will bring, that is not the. There's nobody who is entitled to dream. Everybody, and as they say, every dream is valid, and indeed, let every child be brought up believing that everything is possible.
I would not have ended that conversation in any other way. Did you know it's going to end there?
No, I didn't. I thought you were going to give more time.
No, but you were there brilliant with your words. And because we end the interview on a note where we share mantras and philosophies that keep us going. And you just did. You just did. And thank you so much for that. I don't know about you guys, but if you do not take anything from this conversation, you need to be dedicated. And Dr. BM,
that's what they call
that's
me.
what they call her here. Dr. Betty says that there will be people who will try to put you down. There will be people who will not believe in your dream. But you have to behave like you're deaf, like you can't hear them, and keep on going because your dream is calling and you have to go. Because this girl, that girl dared to dream, and her dream came true. What's your dream today? This is where Motivate ends. We're taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, we have Catherine Mwangi on Books and Blogs, KTN Life and Style on Facebook, KTN Life _Style on Twitter and Instagram. SMS is 22840. Asante sana.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Oh, you are great. Thank you.
Even a Form 4 leaver who cannot even construct a sentence in English without breaking grammar. So this is so pathetic.